Salutations, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, niggas and bitches, hoes and foes, strippers and scammers, rappers and trappers. Welcome to the Old Nigga Podcast.
What it do?
I am your host, Chad Red.
I am General Millz. Salute.
Mr. Important back in the building.
Back in the building. Yes, that motherfucker is back.
Back, man.
Yeah. Glad to have you back, Mr.
Hey,
Important.
man.
Yes, sir.
How you been, man? Where you been? What you been up to?
Man, I'm trying to keep it together, fellas, man. You know, it's been a rough 2 months for me, man.
I feel you.
So we all got to go through this thing called life, man. Just got to put them boxing gloves on it, you know, and just go for it, man. That's all.
I feel you.
Yeah.
What about you, General Millz? What you been up to?
You know, chilling, maintaining, trying to get my grind on, you know what I mean? Trying to be more visible and more on the scene and, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make 2020, you know, the year I think it's going to be and I know it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? So just trying to help it along, you know what I mean? Trying to just stay relevant and stay visible, you know what I mean?
I know you've been trying to stay visible, and me myself, man, I started off the 2020 being visible doing it, and now I went back into my shell. And you know, when I go back into my shell, sometimes I go back into my shell to reinvent, rethink. You know, either I'm reading a book or, you know, I'm one of those people who move in silence. So a lot of times when you don't see me, that means I'm working on something on the side. But lately, fuck, man, I've been going through a lot. So
Hey, man.
I ain't been wanting to be bothered. But we not gonna get all sour.
Ain't nothing sour about that. I think just, you know, just expressing the shit you go through. And I think that's another issue that us black people, man, we got to start expressing ourselves.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because us being the ones holding it in, we the ones that's suffering, man. It's like a trickle effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right about
And I
that.
feel like we just need to get better at, or at least having people around us that can listen to us and make us feel like, oh man, stop being a bitch ass nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that negative shit. I'm tired of that now. You know what I mean? Like I'm tired of being the one not to being able to express myself to my homies or my kids and shit like that, and not be ridiculed about it. You know what I mean?
And that definitely makes a difference. Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely makes a
definitely,
difference. All right, so that is going to be the subject of the day, mental health. But before we dive deep into that, because as you can see, it's just something you can't ignore, even though people try to. We're going to get into something real quick before that. It's Saturday. This is a live show. Tomorrow, the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Super Bowl.
What's your best, fellas?
We're going light skin. Going light skin, man.
Going light skin, my homeboy.
Pat Mahomes.
Pat my homeboy.
Pat my motherfucking homie, man. I'm going with the light skin team.
Yeah,
Going
man.
to Chiefs.
Well, I'm definitely going with San Fran, man.
I'm going with them.
Yeah, I'm going with San Fran.
That defense is a hell of a
Man, I love their defense, man. It's like they've been showing out. Now the Kansas, that's like the real, true live coming of age story. They got the black quarterback, they got the nice run. Everything's coming together for them.
Okay.
But I feel like San Fran is going to be the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm always going to underdogs.
Who you going with, Sue?
So, what's the history behind this team? You know me, I'm in the streets in the booth. I don't know
Yeah.
how to feel.
Really,
But
the Chiefs is, like he said, I would say Chiefs is more the commercial team. And the 49ers this year is that rugged, get in your face team.
Yeah, man.
They got them boys coming off the line, fucking Young Buck, Bosa. They got Sherman in the, you know, as one of the defensive backs.
Yeah.
They run game. What they killed, whatchamacallit, the other week. They got like a 3-headed monster in the backfield.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? Rushed for 200 yards, but they blew out the team without passing the ball. So anytime you could blow out the team,
That was Seattle, was it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they blew out.
Man, they beat the shit.
You know, I don't know if they blew them out, but it was one of the teams they blew out. Anyway,
Yeah.
dude rushed for 200 yards, and I think together they had like 300 yards
Damn.
running the ball, you know? So if you could beat a team without putting the ball in the air, and Jimmy Garoppolo ain't no slouch.
Right. Yeah, man.
But you know, the Chiefs are the pretty team. That's what everybody wants to see. They're the team that score.
Yeah.
You know, they what they always say every year, they're the greatest show on turf this year. Pat Mahomes. I like Pat Mahomes because he got that. I drank a lot of beer and smoked
It
like
was the Vikings.
cigarettes. That was the Vikings they busted
yeah,
up,
the
and they
Vikings.
whooped the hell out of the Vikings.
27-10.
Whooped them. straight ran it down their throat, and I'm
Yeah.
glad they did because you know I hate the Vikings.
Yeah, man, I ain't no Vikings fan either.
All right.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna have to go with San Francisco because I heard something about some upcoming black brothers. You know, it is Black History Month.
Yes, sir.
It's
Yes,
Black
sir.
History Month, so by default, I'm gonna have to roll with them. And my man's just from out there too.
Ooh.
You know, my man, he ain't down music like social. You know what I mean? That's his squad. I've been in his squad forever. Yeah, he from out that way.
Now, since you say speaking of Black History Month, this go with
Phil.
something right now. They're still talking about football.
Yeah.
MVP pick.
I actually, be honest with you, I'm thinking it's gonna be Mahomes. To be honest with you.
And you know who I think it's gonna be?
Who?
Lamar.
For the whole
season.
That's okay.
Whole season.
I'm thinking the Super Bowl.
Nah.
But
whole
yeah,
season.
Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I'm going with Lamar Jackson.
I'm going with
Right.
black quarterback.
Yeah.
He definitely did his thing this year, man.
So we all in agreement with that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it ain't just because he was black. I mean, he really just showed his ass.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, him, a young black quarterback, you know what I'm saying, that is a plus. But he definitely showed his ass this year, man. Like real shit.
Now, how does that make y'all feel to know that it's Black History Month and you, in the National Football League, you are actually probably about to see Black history
Yeah.
with the first MVP black quarterback. Vic was never MVP, right?
Nah, neither was Doug Williams.
Nah, Doug Williams. Yeah, Doug Williams won the Super
He
Bowl.
won the Super Bowl, but ain't no MVP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think Tony Dungy was the first black coach. So, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, we talking about Black History Month today, February the 1st. Wake up. It's first of the month.
Yeah.
It's the first of the month.
So, for Black History Month, any of y'all got a little nugget of some black facts or something y'all wanna talk about before we get into this show?
My uncle Leroy. Nah.
Gotta be Leroy.
The first black motherfucking crackhead to steal a bike and say he ain't stealing himself for crack. I ain't take that bike.
But crazy about crackheads though. Just a quick thing about a black crackhead. I knew we had a crackhead named Volvo in our neighborhood, and the Volvo once put a couch on his shoulder and rode a bicycle. He used to help people move, and the bicycle is how he moved people.
God damn.
Crackhead is the best hustlers ever, man.
Ever.
But for Black History Month, just something you want to highlight or something you want to talk about. Me myself personally, I would like to commend and give a major shout out to one of the most influential people I ever met in Black history, and that person is Linda Marie Wesley. Linda Marie Wesley is my mama.
Hey man, no wrong with that.
But I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna shout out my mama for Black History Month. I'm from a small area in Louisiana. It's called Homer, Louisiana. So we from a parish, Terrebonne Parish. You know, my mom's older. My mama was actually on the first group of kids that was bused in that parish.
What you mean?
You remember when they started segregating the schools? My mama was part of that group.
Yeah.
So my mama was 4 kids, she said, out of their class, and said the teacher chose her because she had good grades. So she was actually part of Black history in the town I'm from. And when I grew up, even though my mom is light skinned, I remember every year we did
Your mama light skinned?
Yeah, man, my mom was like me. It'd be a damn shame if they was all dark.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, man. What the fuck going on here?
She got a big head and everything.
God damn.
Just like me, man. But we used to do the Martin Luther King March every year. She was the one of the people one of the coordinators of the show, everything like that. We held the flag when we marched. I'm not gonna lie, it was nice, but I used to hate it because we used to walk like 4 or 5 miles, and all we sung was "We shall overcome."
Man.
You know how many times you gonna say "We shall overcome"
Exactly,
within a 5-mile march? That's all you hear. One day.
I know they had to get on somebody nerves.
Yeah, but later she went on to she was on TV and everything for doing programs for in the black community to stop people. Her goal was to get people off the corners from drinking alcohol and putting something into the public parks. So she was an advocate for that, and honestly, that's where I get it from, man.
Right. So what year was this though? Like, what year was this all this going on?
In the 80s.
The 80s.
In the 80s, when we moved to New Orleans, I guess she got out of reach with the NAACP that she was in, because she was part of the NAACP there. She was one of the people. So when we moved to New Orleans, she really wasn't part of it anymore, like she was.
Man.
But she was real big in our hometown. What y'all got, fellas?
Yeah, I wanted to just say, I was just trying to look up the facts, because I didn't want to just be out here ringing it. You got to do my people right. It's Black History, but you know what I'm saying? It could be a little bit bootleg, but at least let it be real. You know what I'm saying? It might not be in the right box, but it's real gold. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You feel me? Shit, real gold. But now I just wanted to just talk about this mass shooting. You heard about the mass shooting of a black town in St. Louis back in 1917, when it was a mass riot, mass shooting of a black town where our people, our own people, we had our own schools, we had our own libraries, we had our own banks, and we had our own city, our own bus transit system. It was all ran by black people. The city was ran by us. You know, all facets of life to a whole functioning city. You know what I'm saying? We had our own markets, you know, like I said, bank, transit system. In 1917, it was a mass killing, a mass shooting. It says up to 200 from 40. It said 9 whites were killed and 250 blacks were killed.
Is that the I don't mean to interrupt you. Is that what they call the murder of Black Wall Street? Is that?
Yes, okay. I believe that's what it is. Yup. You know what I mean? Where we had our own everything. And my point of bringing that up is just to let people know the first day of Black History Month that, you know what I'm saying, don't let nobody tell you that what you can't do or can't, you know what I mean, achieve or whatever you got, you know, whatever idea, you know, whatever patent, something you just thought of, you know what I mean, could go, you know, further than you think, you know what I'm saying? We could all have whatever we want, just like everybody else got it, you know what I'm saying? And just don't sleep on yourself, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Basically, don't doubt yourself like that, you know what I mean?
You know, the biggest thing they did there was they killed the idealism of
black people trying
of
like
our own dollar.
Yeah.
So after they did that, you know, that mass murder, which is actually that ruined us until this day.
Yeah.
You know, we don't shop with ourselves, we don't do this and that, but if that wouldn't happen, this would be a whole different America.
Yeah. Because that was just one city. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine if that started to spread and go around, and you know what I mean? It maximized everywhere else like that. But like you said, it would have been a whole nother world.
Oh yeah, you definitely right about that. What you got, my brother?
Man, I ain't really got too much, man. You know, like I've been keeping up with the hair products and stuff like that too, man. Like Bronner Brothers, you know, they got like the black, you know, black manufacturer.
Oh yeah, hair products and all that.
They got the big show down here, right?
Yeah, they always got a show down here. So
Yep.
I was actually talking to some friends and stuff a couple weeks ago, man. So we want to try to, you know, just do a little networking, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
with them?
You know what I'm saying? We don't know they're doing soaps, body fragrances, and stuff like that. So
that's what's up.
just do a little networking, man. So you know, main thing is trying to uplift each other. So they, you know, I see how they run their businesses and manufacturing stuff and getting stuff out there. Like pick up a couple pointers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know.
That's something we should definitely be doing, networking with our own people. But
you
said hair product, the first black millionaire woman. That's what she was off of hair products. I forgot her name.
Was it C.J. What?
I think it was.
C.J. What?
My daughter did a thing about it last year. She dressed up as her, and that's what she did.
Yeah, man.
Like,
that's big. You know, especially for our culture.
Man, you gotta think that's one of the main things. Like you talking about them brothers, that's something we need to support, because China is starting to take over our culture, and they're making money off the hair and products and everything else. We definitely need to get that back under control.
So we got a couple people joined in. Say what's up to them.
Yeah. Marley, Marley Sands was good. Shout out.
All right, let y'all know anybody who's joining the show. If you would like to join in on any discussion, just tap the button, call in. Right now, we're gonna get into the meat of the show. We're gonna get into the main topic, and that's mental health. And talking about mental health in the black community is taboo. This is one of the things that's not discussed. You can't talk about it. It's to be held behind the door, swept under the rug. You don't have it. Don't talk like that.
We don't do that here.
So before we start this, I want to ask both of y'all brothers one question. Really, how y'all doing?
Right now, I'm doing fucked up, but I'm doing the best I can do right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm getting a lot of punches to the face, man. But it's how do you get past it? You know what I'm saying? So me dealing with certain things, it's kind of it gets hard, not easy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm trying to make it, man. That's all.
Well, I mean, shit. Well, you know what I mean? I'm good, actually, for real. You know, my story been a long story for a long time. For real. But actually, I'm really good, though. Really, right now, I'm really good right now. You know what I'm saying? On some other shit, like for real. Because, you know, like I said, my story, I got a long story and it's been going on for a long time. So it just switched up not too long ago.
Yeah, I believe that.
So things switched up. You know, about to take a trip to Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? Next couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? So things is looking got some new things for 2020. You know, it's looking kind of bright. You know what I mean? So I'm doing all right.
With me myself personally, I have my highs and lows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on some days, man, I'm willing to take over. You know, take over the world.
Yeah.
And on the next day, I want to hide under a rock. I deal with things as they come, but it's sometimes where the load gets on you, it's unbearable while I go into my shell, but I wear my mask pretty good.
Do you think that's a good thing though? That's what I'm going to get at. Like far as like what I meant to say too. Like a lot of us hide a lot of our emotions.
Yes, you know that's what we talked about.
Yeah. So it's like I be trying to. Right now, I'm in a place where I question everything. Mm-hmm. Whether it's faith, a friendship with people, family. I'm saying I question everything now. So is that the thing now where it's like, what's really the root of shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really the root of the problems I'm having? Is it me? Am I letting other people get to me, or is it like, what is it? And it's like I come to a lot of different things, a lot of different answers, and it's still nothing pinpoint nothing because we're all over the place.
Yeah, and that's life. That's how you're gonna be, no matter which way you do. You know, I would try to pinpoint some of my issues, but I can't. But I know I suffer from mental health problems, and honestly, I've been diagnosed.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. But before we start that, let me get into the what are the signs of mental health? See, some of the signs are excessive worrying or fear, feeling excessively sad or low, confused thinking or problems concentrating and learning, extreme mood changes including uncontrollable highs or feelings of euphoria, which I definitely have. Nearly 450 million people worldwide are currently living with a mental illness, yet nearly 2/3 of the people with the known mental illness never seek treatment. Anxiety disorders develop from a complex set of risk factors including genetics, brain chemistry, personality, and life events. PTSD affects 7.7 million adults, or 3.5% of the U.S. population. Women are more likely to be infected than men. And what's crazy about that rape is most likely the trigger of PTSD. 65% of men, 45% of the women have been raped, developed disorder. Childhood sexual abuse is a strong predicate of lifetime likelihood developing PTSD. But it's not only that, because when we talk about PTSD, it's only coordinated, compared to synonymous with people, who've been in war.
And it's not that.
Yeah,
right. That's
but
what I'm about to say.
what you don't realize is that the effects of us, it comes straight from even the same effects of war. We seen that at the ages of 5 and 6, but we lived with this our whole life like it was nothing. Because you got to think of the first family member who was killed, the first body you seen or something like that.
Yeah.
But from that day forward, you always thought it could happen.
Yeah.
So
it was very young.
So in the black community, it's something that we're mostly all of us are traumatized by.
Traumatized, overlooked.
So how old were you when you first saw your dead body?
Honestly,
I was 9.
I never seen one. I was 9.
I seen a couple of them. I was living on downtown K Street, man. Down at my cousin's house, and it's called the project we was living in. We was on First Street, but the project they was living in was called the Golden Rule. And back then in the '80s, man, it was like people you was finding bodies everywhere.
It was in DC.
Yeah, so it was I've seen my first dead body. I was about 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the last though. You know
I didn't have to be at 9 years old, man.
That's why my cousin actually moved out here from New York, from Terrace Ave. Niggas was just, and this was 2000 and whatever, whenever it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, had to just get out of there. The seed seen a body across the street, in the street, it's the buildings, the apartments, nigga. Everybody see the shit, you feel me? It's just where you live at. Niggas fighting on your car, you coming home like, you're getting up your shit, like posted up on your shit, like, yeah, he had to get out of there. You know what I mean? So, the point is that we are just conditioned. These events make people, it fuck niggas up. You know what I mean? Like you said, 9 years old. Like, you 9 years old, see some wild. You go to school like regular,
I was just about to say, how did you...
And you on some other shit, like you thinking about, you just seen a whole living person breathing like you, doing regular stuff like you doing, and everybody in his class, but he was dead, for real, not on the TV shit.
How did you process that as a 9-year-old? What were the thoughts going through?
Like, when you that young, it was more of an emotion, like, far as like, because I was riding my bike. I was putting my bike down, and I laid it by the trash. And I saw his feet. Yeah. So I'm one of them kids. I'm wanting to see what the fuck going on. So I'm over there, and this the dead guy, and it's one of the guys from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? One of the guys from the neighborhood. So when they found the damn body and shit, I'm just kind of like stuck for words. You know what I'm saying? Like, really nothing to really say. It's just because we know what goes on. You hear about it, but then when you finally see the shit, it's like, man, I guess that's what happens, man. But I mean, it's like one of them things. Like I said, every time when there was came to a dead body or somebody, you hearing somebody in the neighborhood got killed, or they found somebody's body here and there, it's like, it was one of them things, damn, man, another one?
Yeah. And
that's a constant thing growing up to where I grew up at. It was constant. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it got to the point where you're getting numb to it.
You got to think now that we seen seeing death, you know what I mean, so much death around us that you're immune to it. Yeah. When somebody dies, it's like, oh, for real? One of my homies called me today and was telling me one of the people I used to hang with, went to school with, he died. And what was sad about it, that I couldn't remember the person he was talking about. Damn. And he was like, yeah, he got killed. And it was like, oh, I can't remember.
I'll be bad with names. So I'll be sorry about that. But I'll be real bad with names. I ain't gonna lie about it.
I'm only bad if I really don't remember. You know what I'm saying? If I don't remember you, then I'm like, hey, man, but that's kind of rare, though. I remember pretty much a lot of people I come across.
But, I was saying all of that to say, not just the PTSD from murders. You have it from all kind of things. Just, you got to think about houses getting broken into.
How your parents talk to you.
I was just about to get on to that subject.
Relationship.
The way we was raised, you got to think our parents are only 2 generations removed from the slavery days.
Yeah. Yep.
So You know, slaves were taught to obey because of.
You said 2 generations, meaning what?
Like
2 generations, yeah, great grandma.
Yeah.
Like my grandma wasn't a slave, but she was the legal slave. Meaning my grandma cleaned up white people houses for a living.
Yeah.
You know, when
Your
she was
mama,
young.
Mama.
Yeah, and my grandma was born in 1920s, 28, I think.
Right.
So you know, you got to think her parents. You looking at that time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I still got a great grandmother still living right now.
You do?
Yeah, man. Come think of it. 90, was it 90, like 95, 96?
That's right, Kelly B.
Mm-hmm.
She know what it is.
What she said?
She just was there saying yes. Yeah, definitely bad relationships too. And that's Shanice, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the one thing we could talk about now is the different types. Instead of just PTSD, we have you have anxiety as one of the main things. So with mental health and anxiety is actually the thing that I suffer from.
That's what I'm about to ask you. So how do you feel? I mean, if you don't mind sharing, like, how do you feel like what is your like? I know not me. Well, I think I did have anxiety before, but just don't be knowing what it is.
A lot of us
when
don't
you just
know.
start sweating,
that's the
you
problem.
get around certain things, or you just start sweating for no reason. Your hand, like, you know what I mean, like shit like that. That's what I be like. Now that I've
have you ever had a day like you just going like had a great fucking day, but it still felt like something's fucking wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like it's different mixtures of the whole thing.
How it works, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have like Ray was saying, you know what I'm saying? You got the anxiety plus this, you know what I'm saying, and some other shit. So it's like when you got a combination of shit, man. It's like
it's a different shit every time.
Yeah, man. Like I definitely believe like it's a lot of shit that our ancestors went through that carried over as well. Because it's like you gotta look at it, man. Like our ancestors, as far as the men, they were raped in front of their families. You know what I'm saying? Like what type of shit you gotta go through to see that shit?
Raped,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta carry that type of shit on, and then you passing that shit on to your generation.
Yeah, you ain't got no other like.
Yeah, man, it's like then you gotta look at the household. You know what I'm saying? Like once the male stop being in the household, then you gotta work. Then you got a lot of this female
testosterone.
Well, but not testosterone. But you know, I know what you mean. But yeah, but they got you.
It's a transition from the man doing it to the woman doing it.
Yeah. So now you got all this anger built up because now there's no man in the house to even show you how to be a man. Yeah. So now you learning from the streets, and then you picking up everybody's bad traits, and that shit it'll fuck with, especially when you're young. You know what I'm saying?
Because mental health is genetic.
It's genetic. Definitely,
we don't think that, but it is.
Man. I have two of my kids are going through it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My son and my daughter, they're both going through it right now, and I'm just trying my best to just be there for both of them. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of hard because they didn't know what was going on, but I knew. And it's like when I tried to say something, no, ain't nothing wrong with me. But now they started to accept it now.
It's believable now. Like, you know, when we was coming up, like you were saying, like people just overlooked it, ignored it. Just sit your ass down. You know what I mean? You tripping.
Right.
Nigga, you know, watch that nigga on that bullshit when they come around. You know what I mean? That's how I used to be in the hood. That nigga that was probably bullying niggas, acting off with me, just doing off the wall shit. The nigga needed some medicine.
Somebody slipped something in his drain.
Ain't nobody slipped nothing in. No, the nigga is off. The nigga is off. He ain't balanced. It's a chemical imbalance. This is what it basically is.
Speaking of chemical imbalance, the thing I suffer from is anxiety. And my anxiety isn't like, I would say how people would think, all right, to be honest with you, right now we have a culture that just loves to say they have anxiety, loves to be sick and throw words around. And to me, a lot of that stuff is so fucking fake when you're a person who really deal with it.
Yeah.
I can tell you how my anxiety works. My anxiety is not from a heightened situation. To say, okay, I got pulled over by the police. I'm having anxiety. Exactly. It's not that. Yeah. My anxiety actually comes when I could be fucking sitting in my house not doing a goddamn thing, and all of a sudden I feel like I can't breathe. It could come from being trapped. I could tell you this much: my anxiety is so bad that I take the stairs instead of elevators.
Man, I can't even tell you last time I got an elevator.
Yeah, that's what mine is. I'm scared of time and trapped.
Yeah.
When time doesn't move, when you say, "Oh, Red be doing this, Red do that," I stay busy because of my anxiety.
Yeah.
Because
That's
this is
great.
one thing I learned: an idle mind is a devil's playground.
Oh yeah, and that's been the same forever.
So I stay busy.
Yeah.
I stay busy because I know once I'm not doing something, you know what I'm thinking of?
You're gonna be doing
Oh
some
man,
other
this
shit.
happened. Oh man, you know you're not feeling like this. And then that motherfucking Google search. I could have a motherfucking
man.
season. Before you know, I'm telling my wife, babe,
Oh,
I
bitch, I'm
got cancer.
Diagnosing yourself.
It's a big one.
I'm Red Fox. This
No,
is
but
the big
you
one,
know
man.
what though, real shit.
What?
My peoples that really had that shit, like that really made me really.
Yeah.
Like this shit is really real.
Yeah,
like
it's real.
Ain't no play shit. Like she ain't fronting. Like
It's
it
real.
ain't no bullshit. Called me or was talking, hit me up and was saying some shit about something. Asked this one to ask me some real shit.
Hey,
And I
Kelly
was
B
like-
asked us, so how do men deal with depression?
Men, you know how you deal with depression? And I'm gonna be honest to you, is you hide it. You hide it in
And
liquor.
this is what I was
You
saying.
hide it in vagina. You hide it
Mm-hmm.
to say you go around your best friends, but you could tell when they're going through it. But it's something you can't really talk about because you have to have that.
You a man.
I'm a
Period.
man.
Period.
I go cry in my
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I cry in the bathroom in the morning or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to show
And
it.
that's why you stay busy, so you don't
Yeah.
have to. You ain't got no time to.
I
like-
don't give a fuck no more. I cry when I fucking feel like it.
And
Like,
that's
all
what
that
we
fun
need to
there.
do.
Well, I really don't care about how people think. I'm looking at how
Yeah.
how do I feel about this situation? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now with it. And like a motherfucker come and say, "Well, that bitch ass nigga over there crying." I'm like, yo, if you only knew the shit I was going through, you wouldn't even say, because you'd probably kill yourself if you found out the shit I was going through on a daily basis for 2 months in a row. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when people, that's why I say I never want to put myself in anybody else's shoes because I wouldn't know how to handle their problems. You know what I'm saying? I can only deal with my own shit. So you had like the guy, like I was explaining to y'all earlier about the guy at work, when I was telling y'all he could have lost his teeth because he don't understand that I'm going through some shit, but I'm not bringing my shit at work. I'm coming to work, I'm, hey, how y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? What's my job for the day? And I go about my business. And you mad about some fucking cardboard? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this guy's going through some things, like, let him be. Like, you can't really just mess around with people in their livelihood as well.
But you know, people don't take into consideration.
They absolutely not.
Anything like that.
Absolutely not.
You know, that's the farthest thing on somebody's mind.
But that it should be the first thing on your mind, because your feelings should be, I should be worried about how a person's feeling today because they might snap on me and I might say the wrong thing.
You definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
So it's
right.
like you gotta take that type of shit into
You're right.
consideration. You know what
You're
I'm saying? This guy, it might be a motherfucker might be thinking about killing himself, and just I'm gonna say, hey man, you know what? It's gonna be alright, brother. I'm just giving my word because I see if something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
And that might stop him from killing himself, or that might stop him from robbing the store, or better yet, he might have been trying to rob your ass.
Definitely right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
to certain things
That's a fact.
can help somebody's day.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm trying to put myself more in a position where I'm putting other people's feelings as far as not being such an asshole.
So my brother, let me ask you how you deal with it.
Far as
How have you been dealing with the depression? What have you been doing to?
I play a lot of word games, man,
Mhm.
because it calms me down. You know what I'm saying? Like I pawn my
Word.
PlayStation, but yeah, I play a lot of word games, man. I got some puzzle games. on the phone,
No, really.
Bullshit, I do,
But what
I do like puzzle games.
My
I do
shit
like
be,
shit,
I be
word.
wondering
Was
what.
it Word Journey, Happy Lucky, all these little games and shit.
Yeah.
Play them games, man, and just
You know why I'm laughing?
well,
Because my wife asked me how I deal with mine. I tell her I play the game.
yeah.
I play the game.
You gotta stay doing like I used to just go to sleep, and that's what you know what I'm saying. Like it would fuck me up. Like I could be in my house for 2 days in a row, ain't cooked nothing, ain't took a shower.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't eat nothing, barely went to the fucking bathroom.
Trying to sleep off
I
the
got to
headache,
the
wake
point.
up with another headache.
Listen, I'm not even playing, fellas. I got to the point where I was so fucking. I was pissing in my water bottles instead of getting up and going to the fucking bathroom. I said I have a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? When I found out I had depression, I was 17 years old because of what I went through. When me and my mother's boyfriend at the time, which is my little brother's father, I actually tried to kill his ass. You know what I'm saying? And what happened was they found me at Howard University with the gun. You know, so this is after I shot at the door.
Mhm.
And they found me at Howard University. Now, mind you, I'm sitting on a black HBCU campus with a goddamn gun.
Yeah.
At 17 years old. So when they found me and shit, they of course they arrested me or whatever. So when they found what was going on and shit like that, they put me in a place called St. Elizabeth. I was in it. It's like a little mental hospital.
Yeah.
So they put me there for about 8 months. And I was on fucking Prozac, Thorazine. This is all true shit. Prozac, Thorazine. I was on all types of fucking drugs they had me on. And it was just some shit I didn't like the way it felt. Like, it would bother me that pen was on the floor and I couldn't pick it up.
So you got OCD too?
Why you couldn't pick it up?
I had a lot of my OCDs be horrible.
But why you couldn't pick it up though?
Because of the drugs I was on.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like I was so fucked up on the drugs. I couldn't even. Yeah, so that's another reason why I don't smoke weed. I don't take Tylenols, none of that shit because
me neither.
I don't like it.
You can see these drinks in front of me, but in my mind I already got a certain thing and I don't go past it.
Yeah.
Because after that, I might be good tonight, but my anxiety tomorrow is gonna be out the roof, man.
And you know what? This is why, like, when I blaze and I burn, that may be keeping me from having anxiety. I know, like, this one time, like, it's certain times when shit happens, when I look back and now I know what anxiety is, I'll be like, yo, I was having an anxiety attack.
Right.
Like, the shit was crazy, B. Like, when I was, shit was crazy.
And the weed actually, the weed actually enhances mine. And that's because
feel worse than medicines.
Yeah, the medicine is it actually, since Kelly B mentioned the medicine, this is one of the main things. I'm not gonna cut you off. We're gonna go back to this. But speaking of the medicine, one of the main things I want to talk about was ADHD, and I feel this is what the government doing is basically criminalized. This shit should be. It's corruption. It should be stopped.
The drugs part? No.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because of the ADHD, what they're doing, they're killing a generation. And by doing that, they're crippling our generation by telling them they have something at a young age. When you can have any kid right now, you could bring your young, black, healthy child to them to get mentally checked out. And you know what they're going to say? ADHD.
All the time.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody.
So he can't just like to play with toys.
Yeah, but they doing this to our kids. Yeah. So you can put the kids in special ed. Yeah. You can give them a check.
They get money for them.
You can do this, and you know what now? The child has a ceiling. This child has a ceiling. Plus, this child has I failed that test. I got ADHD.
Yeah.
Now it has an excuse.
Yeah.
So now
my brother uses this shit all the time.
So now they just done cripple this child to say you're not gonna get past this level in life, and you're not even gonna go for an education because you feel you can't get this education.
Yeah.
But what they're doing as a system is killing us so much in these black parents because a lot of us don't have the money, we don't have the funds. When they say, hey, your child has ADHD, what we think is that sounds like $800 a month.
Yeah. But then, and you have to take the assistance that they can give you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's where the other part at.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the
to get medical treatment.
Yeah. And it's not the same. It's the same. It's the alternative drug to the expensive drug, which is the bullshit. Yeah. So now you putting the bullshit in your child's body that probably gonna make them worse than what the fuck you already is.
So the fuck with.
You know what I'm saying?
Now your child on Adderall, and then
now you have the liver problems and you can't breathe right. So it's like, what the fuck?
You already know.
I'm trying to tell you already know. This is some bullshit.
But now the only reason they're trying to contain it now is because this Adderall now has started to move to that white neighborhood. And now you have addiction. Now they snorting this shit. Now they shooting this shit. They plugging it in their ass and shit now. You know
they
what I'm saying?
was doing this shit in fucking Lumpkin County Jail. Smashing up the fucking, like they was getting any pills they can get. They would crunch that shit up.
County.
Yeah, that's out there in Delano.
Yeah.
They was fucking smashing up the pills and snorting that shit.
But people
anything, man.
People doing that now because that Adderall give you a full 6-hour high instead of that cocaine high that's only
about 10 minutes.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So now you done spent $100 on an 8-ball and you only high for 2 hours. You spend fucking $20 on this Adderall pill, and now you high for the fucking whole day. You could
they
just
snort
take
it.
it too.
Whatever,
Some of them
When you
motherfuckers
snort
stick it
it-
in their ass. Huh?
Yeah, they plug it too. But when you snort it though, you gotta think it goes to your brain fast. You know about
No.
like when
No,
people used
man.
to
I heard of it.
X pills and shit.
Yeah, X pills too. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you put it in your ass and make it last longer, and,
Yeah,
and the feeling.
I'm
Not
not trying to get high. Like
I'm
that.
not plugging.
That's what they-
Nah,
Kelly B say, wait, what? Nah, but that's real shit though, man. They do that, man.
See,
You know what I'm
Brad,
saying?
we don't went off track. That's a whole different thing.
Well,
Yeah,
mental
well, hey, that's what we
disorders,
do,
man.
man.
It's all add up. It all adds up.
It's all a
It's
part.
all part
It's
of
like
that.
what they call the spider, the tree branch. It branches off the other
It
shit.
definitely is, man.
Yeah, man.
Definitely all part of it.
Definitely is. So we talked about
Damn, big.
the PTSD. We talked about anxiety. We talked about COD.
Mhm.
Let's talk
COD?
about
OCD.
OCD. I'm
I say cancer.
I'm so sorry because really I'm reading and I'm thinking at the same time.
And yo, I just wanted to say about the chemical imbalance with the different versions of it. You know, like the OCD.
Did you say virgins?
Version.
Are you fucking your drugs, man? We need a bail.
The OCD is just like in some forms it could be a good thing. You know what I mean? So when people just think about being chemically imbalanced, you know what I mean, it don't necessarily mean you on some bullshit or you fucked up or you know what I mean? People always look at it as just some negative fucked up shit. You know what I mean? That's not good or that's not, you know what I mean? But
most geniuses are on the verge of being insane.
Yeah, I'm about to
Yeah,
think
you
this.
feel
I'm
me?
gonna explain
So,
something
yeah.
about my OCD, right?
yeah, so
Now
that's what I'm saying.
it was that bad at one point where, like, it was a good thing because, like, say we had a jar of jelly beans, right? Just by me looking at it, I can actually sort out the fucking colored jelly beans. Like I say, okay, well, I'm pretty sure it's more whites than reds than orange and green. Like shit like that, it would help me out with. But other shit, it was like, okay, well, that shit pissed me off because it's not centered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you looked at my sock drawer, all my socks are fucking rolled up and tucked in the corner. And so is my fucking t-shirts, rolled up, tucked in the side. They're lined up, uniform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like now lately, I be like, man, fuck all that shit, man. It pisses me off because I'm forcing myself not to do it.
Yeah.
But if I still have like certain moments where I do that shit, but I be fighting that shit.
It's good. I deal with it, but only to a small extent. I can say with the OCD, I can remember about everything in a room or in a house that's been touched or moved, and I count a lot in my head. Like while you talking to me, I'm already doing math.
Yeah.
I could probably go in your fucking bathroom and I remember how many towels you got on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I can say, oh, you got 28 towels on the floor. So parts of that is good, but then it's the parts of when I'm on my bad days that heightens the OCD part of me. But one of the main things I wanted to talk about, one of the other forms is bipolar. And the thing I want to talk about with bipolar is why do women wear bipolar like it's a stripe?
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what I'm
bipolar.
saying?
Like,
Yeah, motherfucker, you already knew I was bipolar, this and that. Why in the black community?
it's like a rites of passage for you, man.
Like you could do anything.
Yeah,
You could bust me in my motherfucking head and say, bitch, you already knew I was bipolar.
That shit ain't.
That's what the fucking doctor told you. The doctor told you it was bipolar because you went in there one day and you was happy, one day you was sad. But you know what? It's fucking called life. Because one day you're gonna be happy, one day you're gonna be sad. You know, so I'm not.
This is true.
You know, that was just a joke, but bipolar is a real thing when you have some people who just can't get out of that depression stage, no matter what they go to. And some days they're on a super high, and the next day is just a whole different person. And once someone has bipolar or suffers from that, most of the time the only solution is drugs.
Yeah,
But then
and that's the first one they go to.
Yeah, and them drugs turn you into a zombie.
Yeah.
You know, so
Have y'all ever took any of them drugs? Like I said, I took some, and I'm like, that's like the most horrible fucking feeling.
What you mean?
Thorazine is like the worst thing I've ever took.
I took,
You know what I'm saying?
I took, pain pill type stuff, but nothing like that. But
what was the pills I used to take?
you know, but on the real with the medicine though, I know the cats don't like to take medicine. I don't like to take medicine and nothing like that. But for real, the medicine works, yo. The medicine really works. You may be having to take different combinations of it, or a combination of medicines, but once they find out, you know what I'm saying, like what balance you need, you feel me? The shit works.
See, that's what I felt like.
I'm serious.
I felt like I was being a test
like real shit,
you know
though.
I ain't like that.
Real shit, and I'm a believer because shit I seen, and it came from like a good place to just shit that what the hell is going on place. Then I finally figured out what it was, and you know what I mean, like. It was just crazy, B. Like, and it's really real. You know what I mean? Like, the medicine, when you get on it, you start feeling regular, you start feeling normal, you start feeling like you're good, and you do be good. And then you start feeling like, I don't need it, and then don't take it, and then it starts happening again. Like, this shit is real, yo. Like I really seen it, like, in real life. Really, like, it really, I really seen it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, please, weed is not the answer for everything.
But weed does help with a lot of things because anxiety and that is natural. But the one thing I can say when you say about the medicine, I believe that the medicine worked, but the medicine without mental treatment, the way to get you to reprogram your mind. The medicine is useless.
You're right.
Because it could end up, you could end up being a zombie. But I think you're gonna have to find that medium ground between the medicine and meditation or motivation or whatever it takes, like how you play the game, is those simple things plus the medicine together, and I think you can really reform a person. But without all of that combined,
people need counseling too, like real counseling.
Oh, definitely.
You need counseling, man.
The thing is what really happens, in my opinion, when people have situations like this and something happens or whatever's going on, it's the coping part about it. How you cope. Niggas don't know how to cope. You said you hold it in. That's not coping. That's holding it in.
I use sex.
You keep. This is what I'm saying. This is what I said. Stay in business.
I knew that, but I didn't want.
I always knew.
But of course, and this is what I was telling you. I lost jobs over this shit, B. I lost jobs over this. All right. So now I know what it was back then. Like now I recognize what was really happening. You feel me, nigga? I was on some shit. I don't know, B. I was going through a depression. I don't know. I was doing wild shit. You feel me? Smoking, drinking, hanging out with little young shorties. Like I was just doing whatever, nigga. Like it was whatever. You feel me?
I didn't feel empty, you know what I'm saying? Like I try to make myself like. I was feeling some type of way, but I didn't know what the feeling I was looking for. So when I was using sex was like, okay, but this is something I like doing, but it was like it was only short term. You know what I'm saying? To now I need it again. You know what I'm saying? Then I need it again. That was my drug. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, Then it got to the point where I was always just needing that shit. And I'm like, I can't keep going like this. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, that shit was hard.
So what you do are you reading books? What you doing?
I mean, I was downloading a bunch of little urban novels on my audio books and shit, right? So I'm also doing what's the guy name? Fucking one that did all the crime novels. Damn, I just downloaded the shit. What's his name? He did not the one came to Spider, the other ones. The lawyer, Lincoln Lawyer and shit like he did. The Lincoln Lawyer. He did the one of the one with Samuel Jackson movie when he Long Kiss Goodnight. Was it Long Kiss Goodnight? No. The one where they
I know you're talking about with Charlie Baltimore and them.
Nah, not that one. It was the one where they raped his daughter. Damn. I hope they all burn in hell.
Oh, they deserve to die.
Yeah, that movie. He the author of that book.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think his name was I just got this shit, man.
I know what you're talking about. What
so you started watching, listening to those.
Yeah, they listen to the audiobooks, man, and like this is something, anything different. I'm trying anything
They
different.
say the movie is called
A Time to Kill.
Okay.
That's it.
Kill.
Do you know the author?
Appreciate you, Tim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the author? All right. There's bipolar disorder. What Kelly B said about the bipolar?
We was talking about something she said.
Yeah, but I think the treatment is something we should talk about more. We should share more, because when I was young and I was suffering from my anxiety and stuff like that, it wasn't at the cool stage.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like now where
You can talk about it.
Yeah, people are more open.
People is accepting it and supporting you. And
But our community is not.
I mean, well, it's starting because there's a few rappers that rap like that and they talk
John
like
Grissom.
that. You know what I'm saying?
John Grissom, yeah.
They rap like that.
Big Sean came out with some mental health stuff.
Jordan Lucas, right?
Oh, I love Jordan.
Yeah, see, so
Love
Jordan
Jordan.
Lucas, there's certain artists that talk like that, and they do that.
Mhm.
And that's what I was saying, like with the different, I'm the music guys, but that's what I was saying, like with the different eras back in the day, you couldn't talk like that. That wasn't cool to talk about. If you off, nigga, you in special ed and that's it. That's the max. There's nothing else beyond that. Yeah, that's it.
We got a
You know
call.
what I'm saying? Got a caller coming in. You live with the Old Niggas podcast.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Where you from, man?
Yeah, it's going fine. I'm good. Myself, Bill from South India.
Oh, nice.
Hello.
Yes, yeah.
I just wanted to ask you something. You're just having conversation about anxiety. Is there any easiest ways to overcome the anxiety?
Say it again, sir.
Is there any easiest way to come out of anxiety? I'm asking.
For anxiety, to come off anxiety, well, like he was saying,
I would say the easiest way for me is to find your go-to. There is the part of fear and flight. So you don't always want to do the flight. You gotta face the fear. So I will find a go-to thing, not to run from it, but to find an easier way to deal with it. I use the game. I use breathing exercises. Sometimes things like that. Somebody to call, someone to talk to. You got anything for them down there?
Man, the main thing is stop being alone. Like, do not be by yourself when you're going through stuff like that, man. Like, try to have positive people around you the way it keeps your mind off of things, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially the bad stuff.
So the best way is to face the anxiety itself in a calm way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
And you're calling from where again?
Pardon?
And you're calling from where again?
South India.
Okay.
India.
South India in the building.
Thank you
All right.
for calling
Thank you
in,
for calling
man.
Yeah, it's morning 3 a.m. here. I was just waiting for the bus and just turned on the podcast and I just started to listen to you. And I found it's pretty interesting, so I thought about you.
All right, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man, for logging in.
Make sure to follow and call in anytime, man. Later, check yourself out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can listen to yourself later, man.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, man. So, as you can hear from the conversation, it's a problem all across the world.
All across, man. It's everywhere.
All across the world, and I think with men itself, I think we should give ourselves more of an outlet instead of let's go to the bar.
Yeah.
Oh man, you going through something? Meet me at the bar. Let's go have some drinks.
yeah.
Because at that moment, that person might seem good, bruh, but once you get home and alone, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by the whole, like, make sure you're around somebody. Like, you don't
Right.
want to be by yourself. Because, like I said, it was pretty nice, man. I done thought about it, you know what I mean? But it's like,
Myself too, my
I just
brother.
I can't put myself to be in that position anymore. Like I said, I'm a grandfather now, man. I got my kids and stuff, my grandkids, man. It's like, I got so much stuff to live for. And I've been just breezing through life. Like, not even worrying about certain shit. Like, I know I was going through this since I was 17 years old, but I never did anything to help it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if the people that I hung around, they knew I was going through that type of stuff, how would they disown me as a friend, or they, you know what I'm saying?
I used to get clowned.
And that's what I was
I
saying.
used to get clowned a lot.
And it's like me, I can't. If I feel like I'm getting clowned, I'm gonna get violent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is what I'm
So
saying.
it's like it's either or. So now it got to the point where I just stopped being with those type of friends.
Mine started at around the age of 15, but I used to get clowned a lot.
But how did people know about your situation though? Like, how did they know? And how was it like niggas was
my anxiety, you know, I talk about that later, but it was in front of people. The first time it happened to me, I actually passed out, and that was a form of PTSD. I don't know if it was a drug overdose or whatever it was, but since that day, I've never been right.
Yeah.
And, you know, so the people who was around told people, they told me the story. It was like, bro, you was turning pale. You know, you started screaming, running around, you know. So
And they make fun of this shit though.
like you see that water bottle? Y'all both work with me.
Yeah.
You ever see me walk around without a water bottle? And one of the things they said I did then, they said I started screaming and was saying, I need some water, I need some water. And they threw some water in my face and said I came back. So in my mind, I actually think water is God. Like, that's a whole other story. We'll talk about that on another episode. And
I know what you mean.
I coordinate how I tell you that water is God, is in all, and is in the people. It's way the earth. But that's my savior. So that's why I always have water, no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing. We could go in a restaurant, I don't touch none of my food before I get water. You know, me and my wife could walk in a grocery store, I bring water in the grocery store, which is a good thing because it's my calming mechanism, but it's also a bad thing because it's my crutch.
Yeah, Jenny said water helps her too.
You see, so, you know, it's something people deal with. How much of the show we on? We on an hour now, so we gotta. I'm not gonna move the subject on without you, you know, getting everything off your chest or talking about what all you need to talk about.
Yeah, we good on this stuff.
Man, I mean, right now, like I said, today was a work in progress, man. Like I said, I'm just glad I could share with y'all fellas, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you did, man.
It's just a lot of times when I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? I was just not scared to say, but a lot of people use shit against you, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, the environment I grew up in, that's what it was. And so it's like, that's what kept me to hold a lot of shit in, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody that grew up with me, even knowing I was quiet, but I was violent. I was an asshole, I was angry, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that trickled on because I couldn't get my emotions out. So anytime somebody said some slick shit, I was quick to pop off. Or if anybody just said something I ain't like, you know what I'm saying? I would instantly get violent. Instead of me being trying to talk or just have somebody to talk to say, okay, well, this was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of things that people didn't know that was going on in my life, but it's like it wasn't their business, but I still needed somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
But like I say, that shit just carried on as an adult, man.
And you know, niggas don't have time to talk about stuff like that. It ain't about money or pussy or
man.
Ain't got time.
And that's the other thing. It's like with certain motherfuckers, man, if I ain't talking about no pussy or something or some money, we ain't got nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why? So when I start talking about other shit or some real shit, they be like, oh, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? And they brush shit off.
Oh, they hit you with that, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Exactly that.
That's crazy.
You know how it is.
Know what to say.
But let it be.
Sometimes
Sometimes
don't know what
you
to
ain't
say.
gotta say nothing. Sometimes you
don't
gotta
know
say
what to
shit.
say. They just damn, like, oh. You know what I'm saying?
They only saw the surface.
Yep. Yeah, and the surface to them was, I'm the young fly kid that always got a nice car and a lot of bitches. The whole time I'm the one that's going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, man. Like I was telling my boy last night, you know what I mean? He gonna do it. He gonna do it. Like, for real, some other shit. Like, yo, get busy, man. Like, you know, not to be out there and put yourself out there, but you gotta do me, like, snap out of it.
Yeah.
You know, he wanna snap out of it. You feel me? He like, I don't wanna be like, I'm like, yo, listen, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because that's the only thing I would know. Like you said, stay busy. Stay doing something. Just get your mind off it, or don't have enough time to be sitting around thinking about it. And like, he lived by himself. So like you say, when you go home and nobody's there, and you there with your dogs and Nigga, you there by your damn self, like that shit hit you. And you start thinking, you know, replaying shit in your mind and like start shit making you crazy. When you making yourself like crazy.
But that goes back to the PTSD because you're just replaying the same thing.
And then you're judging yourself, you question yourself, you then all of these things, like, you know what I mean, and you fucked up. Then somebody say something crazy to you. And then when you snap and all that happened, people wondering what the fuck is wrong with you.
They got a lot of that going on in the community.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. You be wondering why they acting like, what the fuck happened? Nigga, I thought I just nigga.
You go to McDonald's, they forget your ketchup. Next thing you know,
the nigga coming there and you see that shit with the girl with
this is a true story, right? This is a true story. Alright, y'all know the
why you do that for?
I'm at the carryout, right? And y'all know the carryouts are, right?
Yeah.
So the carryout.
The carryout like the
Chinese spots and shit like that.
Fast food,
so
walk in, walk out shit.
This particular night, I asked for a steak and onion sandwich, right? Not a steak and cheese. I didn't want no cheese. I wanted a steak and onion.
Cheese make a nigga constipated, man.
And it was real late. So I ain't want that, you know what I'm saying?
Some old nigga shit. I can't have that on my chest. That's how I knew he was Give me this motherfucking cheese and I told
I got so fucking mad. Like, I'm already late, you know what I'm saying? I just got off work late. I'm hungry as a motherfucker, right? And I think I had $7 left, so I spent my last $7 on this food. I get there, I say I want a steak and onion, half sub, fries, whatever. So I get there, I get my food, open it up, cheese all over the motherfucker.
I used to love that DC food.
I came right back in that bitch and stuffed the whole sandwich in the change.
Oh shit!
I was like, you put your money at?
Man,
I stuffed all that shit in that motherfucker. I say, man, I told you I didn't want no fucking cheese, man. And I made them make me a motherfucking another sandwich. They called the police and everything on me, man.
See? Nigga moment.
Yeah, nigga moment, man.
Turn to a nigga moment because of what was going into your life and everything else.
Man.
But I wanted to circle back on something you said when you said I didn't know what to tell him. And the thing I wanted to circle back on is because people who deal with alcoholism and drug problems and addictions, they have people they could call. But there's nothing set up in the system for people for mental health to call when they're going through those things, except for the psychiatrist you gotta pay and the suicide line. But in between those two things, there's no connections. You know, if you're suffering from alcoholism, they'll give you a sponsor. Sponsor checks on you every day.
What you mean?
The sponsor, making sure you're not calling. You gotta go to these meetings, and they're bought by and supported by the government. But you don't have these things for mental health. Me myself personally, I could never. I still deal with this issue now, but I can't get the help I need because of the cost. So I have to go through life finding, okay, I know what's wrong with me from Google. When it started. And now Google got me feeling,
you know what you're trying to do.
There's really no end game on the mental health because now it turned into a big racket about making money.
Yeah. I mean, that's maybe something we could look at now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always trying to look for different ventures, man. So maybe we should start looking into mental health on, what I'm saying, especially amongst our communities, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I mean, like, that's real.
Good idea.
Because people, they not recognized. It's so easy, like, you don't want to diagnose everybody with something because everybody got something. Everybody fucked up in some kind of way.
Alright, so
that's just real shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
how y'all feel about this then, right?
Like, you see y'all talking like y'all got anxiety. You hear I haven't said I have anxiety and all that shit, right? But the way I understand how this shit work, and for me to be functioning for many of years. In this type of situation, day in and day out like this, I'd be questioning. I told you, now that I know what it is, when I look back, I realized that certain shit was happening. To me, that's what it was. Now that I know, you know what I'm saying? Doing wild shit. Just certain shit that, you know what I mean? Sweaty palms, get in front of this, to be in a certain situation, you just all of a sudden, you just good for 2-3 hours on the way there. Now all of a sudden, shit is going on with you. So, I don't know, I don't know what that means.
You go this way, mesothelioma, what the fuck?
What the fuck I got?
What the fuck is this shit?
So I mean, it's never recognized in our community.
Yeah.
Like that.
Nah, it's not.
But I mean, I don't want to forget what I was about to say, right? Because it pertains my son, right? So some of the things what I try to explain to him about is sometimes you do got to get off your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is not an issue like far it's a depression issue. No, sometimes you just got to get off your ass. You know what I'm saying? So I think once you take certain steps to do things, do everything you can do first. Then if you can't, like, if you mentally can't get past certain things, then look into why you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Don't just give up and say, So it's like I had to have him separate certain shit. Like don't just say you're depressed just because, oh man, I'm stuck with this dead end job.
Yeah, something didn't go right.
So it's like, well, something didn't go right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I like that's not what it is. Like
Definitely.
I want you to understand something because like this is serious.
Yeah.
Like because I saw it in him before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't trying to accept what I was trying to explain to him.
Yeah.
So now that it's come about, now he sees it now. You know what I'm saying? Because he was having issues, like he's home with his mom, and you know what I'm saying, she's scared. Because one day he's okay, the next day he just standing in the middle of the fucking floor crying and don't know what's wrong. So she's scared for her son. I'm scared for my son. Everybody's wondering like what's going on, and we don't have any answers for him.
Yeah, he needs.
So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like what do you tell your child? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm stuck in certain areas, and then my daughter's going through the same thing, and that's because of what she was going through in her house. You know what I'm saying? She felt like she's being used for whatever reason. Her mother might say, not to say she's a bad mother, but she wants her to do everything. And so she can't focus on schoolwork. She can't focus on this. She can't focus on her own shit because she got to cook for her sisters, take out the trash, do this other stuff. So now
she's a mama too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's other things. Like I say, the household determines a lot of too, but what goes on with these kids.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Kids are conditioned.
I used to, you know, I was at a point where I was used to believing whooping the child's ass.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to look at it like, my kids wasn't that bad, so I didn't have to spank their ass a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I say something or their mother say something, that's what it was. It wasn't no ass whooping.
Yeah, because I believe in ass whooping.
I was ass whooping, like I'll give an ass whooping, they stuck. Like my son Tay, he stuck his fucking finger, and was trying to stick his finger in the fork in the fucking socket.
Yeah.
And I tried to break his goddamn hand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was an issue. That was me spanking his ass.
Yeah.
But like, as far as had to like really give them ass whoopings, I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, and this is how my seeds were. So, you know, just like me, once I figured out how ass whoopings get got, I figured how to not get them.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And that just was it. So it wasn't.
I used to get my ass beat with
know
everything.
Yeah, we got tore eyes and we got asses tore with a lot of shit.
Everything.
But yeah, so
with the mental health, man, you got any closing things, any words down there before we?
Man, if you feel like you're just stuck at at the crossing, man, if you feel like you need help, I say ask. You know what I'm saying? Like talk to some doctors or whatever, and just figure out what's going on with yourself. Because you don't want to go in enough and blind, and all this time you might have, you're thinking everything's okay, and really you're not. So I say I think everybody need to seek some type of help. You know
well,
what
can
I'm
I just ask, how would you? What point would a person realize that I need help? Like I think I need help. Like when would they know to go want to say I need to go ask?
Well, like I say, my point, when I found out, like I said, I found on accident. But when I actually realized like what was the problem, like I say, I have these days where everything is going great.
Right.
But I was like, it's something wrong. I don't know what it is. I can't even explain what the fuck the problem is.
Yeah.
So it's like I try to talk about it, but now nobody wants to hear what I gotta say because they think I'm fucking losing my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just want to get something out. Like I want to get shit out. I don't want you to diagnose me. I don't want you. I sometimes want to talk.
Yeah.
And then so that gives me back to putting myself back into my shell because now I ain't fucking gonna talk to.
Yeah,
definitely. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm back to square one again.
Definitely.
Right.
So it's like like I say, the main thing is like if you it's an emotion. It's the emotion part. So once you feel like your emotions all over the place and you can't control that shit,
Yeah.
you need some help, man.
Yeah. I was just going, aim in that. Definitely just to say, if you having a good day and you still find something to worry about and everything's going good, if say you in one of the most beautiful places in the world and you just thinking about something bad, you still just not happy inside. You know when you have it. You'll definitely know because it'll start to affect the relationships you have with others.
Oh yeah, big time. That's another sign.
When you sit in the bed and you're looking at that phone ring and you're not calling nobody, you're not answering any calls, and you'll know when it goes. So with the mental health, we have a few minutes before we close this show. We would like to introduce a new segment, and this segment is for my partner, Mr. Important.
Yeah.
Take it over, Mr. Important. What you got for us, man?
Alright, this segment is called Scenarios. What would you do if this happened to you? So, mind you, these are all true stories. So, scenario number 1, we're going to start this week. It's going to be, it was after a football game.
And Mr.
What was that?
I was just trying to get your song on the way before you get started.
Mr. Important.
So the scenario this week is, what would you do? So, story is, a friend of mine was calling me saying, hey man, we got this chick over to the house, man, you know, you want to come through and slide through, whatever. She, you know, everybody getting a turn on her, you know. So this particular time, you know what I'm saying, like, I wasn't down for it at that time, whatever. So I finally got another phone call probably like a week or so later. So I say, fuck it, you know, me and my homeboy hanging out anyway. So let's go see what this is about, whatever. So we get over there, and it's about like 6-7 guys already there, you know what I'm saying? So this way it gets real crazy. So me and my homeboy sits down at the table, so we plug up the game, we play the game, whatever, because there's so many people in the house. He sits back and says, damn, man, my girl got that same pocketbook. And right after he says that shit, this chick walks out the fucking room and runs into the bathroom, ass naked. He jumps up and damn near like he saw a goddamn devil. He jumps up, chases her in the bathroom, and the whole time it was his man's girlfriend.
Wow.
So everybody here fucking this man girl. I'm
5, 6,
talking about, it's like it's a lot of people in that motherfucker, man. I'm talking, they come out sweaty and talking, yeah, Shawty got it going on. That mother ass fat. They going in on her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
And the whole time it was this man girlfriend, man. We had to pull him off this chick. So again, that was a scenario. So the scenario, what would you do? And mind you, these people are still together. And this happened like 2002.
Wow. What I do? Wait. It'll be over. It'll be a wrap. I just let him keep running the train.
Man.
I'll come in there on my turn.
Yeah.
And
But no,
be
but
like, what
It
the?
should be like that dick feel.
But when we got the full story, you know what I'm saying? Like she was always telling him, "Oh man, I'm at my sister's house," or "I'm at," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or shit like that. But whole time, you getting the motherfucking joint because the dude is telling me.
It's no coming back.
Yeah, exactly. No coming back.
Jail. Yeah.
So the dude is already telling me like, "Nah, she's always over here. Like she always over here."
And that's a fact.
So bitch, these motherfuckers been tossing you for months.
All right, how old is she?
What now?
Oh,
No,
what is
when
she?
this happened.
Well, we was like in our 20s, man.
Okay, all right. Now this is how I'm gonna break it down. Me personally, it's over. But if a woman in her 20s, sometimes that body count 7 itself is kind of too high for some men.
Man.
You know, so
We
you
had 7 that night.
you get 7 there one night, but me, nah, bruh.
You said
Yeah.
that body
I've been
count.
cheated on, but that level of
That level
Yeah,
right
but
there,
you got to look at the
That's
whole.
the thing.
That's
My
the
thing is
whole
like,
story. The
if
whole
I-
story. She's been doing this. She's
Yeah.
been doing this. So, like I said, my homeboy, he kept calling. It wasn't the first time he called. He called me 2 or 3 different times.
She must really do got that good.
Man, and this bitch don't drink enough. She got that white liver. She just fucking just because. They want to give this bitch no money or nothing.
Now that brings it back to that mental disorder, man.
Yeah, that's a mental. That's a
something happened.
Yeah,
something happened.
I mean, but see, and here's another thing too, though, right? So she was messing with the dude named, we call him Ohio. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to put his name out there, but fuck it. Anyway, we call the nigga Ohio or whatever, right? So, but she was from DC.
Go kick that nigga ass.
He came with me either, but
he said dick all in her back.
So she from Southeast. You know what I'm saying? DC.
Okay.
So she's a pretty much a.
You about to pinpoint the location? Just send the ad.
Fuck that shit, man. That shit's out there. I mean, cause it ain't like everybody in the neighborhood didn't know.
It's up in the air.
You know what I'm saying? It's motherfuckers knew, but they still together. From what I know, they still together, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who? He light skin?
What's wrong with the nigga?
His level of forgiveness is. That don't come from
he green, man. He green, man. You know what I'm saying? Real green, man.
He must be young, must be.
Yeah, he real green. When he first got to DC, got his first
He needs some medicine, because he goddamn, he needs some goddamn medicine, because that nigga, what the hell wrong with that?
Hey, Sue, we got a little bit, and now you got your music time. What you got for?
Oh yeah, well, I was just trying to highlight, upcoming artists, Singers and Stylez, that's the crew, the fam.
New segment we doing music segment.
Music, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to highlight Singers and Stylez, General Millz, myself, Salute, Levi, on the Black History Month tip, because it's Black History. We did a video last year, whatever the case is, for Black History Month freestyle. We did a little video for Black History Month, so I just wanted to highlight that. Singers and Stylez. We're gonna be putting that on. Well, we're not gonna really be putting that on. We're probably gonna put it on SoundCloud, just so y'all can hear it or whatever, because it's a remix over that Public Enemy track. You know what I'm saying? So
Public Enemy?
Yeah, it's
better be some Black Powers.
Yeah, so some Black Powers. I'm probably gonna do another one this month. You know what I'm saying? For the Black History Month, right? So, just shout out Black History Month, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This Levi, Young Kings, Singers and Stylez, General Millz, Singers and Stylez, Salute. Here go a little piece of it. We're gonna play a little clip, just a little short, little piece, snippet. Check it out, this Divine Bloodline. Make sure you ain't got no commercial popping up on this joint. Yeah. Divine Bloodline.
Bring it back to pro-black, put it on Kodak. I'm talking about ancient history and speaking on facts. Checking out my history, did you recall that? My bloodline divine, one of a kind, mine and all that. My niggas, that's N-E-G-U-S. Definition of king, where you to ship to the U.S. We got Malcolms and Martins, Marcus and Henry, we revolutionary inventors. Worry about Louis and Gucci, Washington. What about George Washington Carver or Benjamin Banneker? One of our forefathers, the one, Haile Selassie, the Virgin Ayati, the next version of Mali, no sovereignty in the split. And I Polly, we wanna rally on the lobby. The signature Babylon, I don't stop. We got a letter from the government, they hate but loving it. My man, they discovered this magic, but then we touching it. Wow.
Public enemy 1+1. All of my homies could get records when they told them guns. Only for protection. Instead of getting these degrees, I keep that Smith & Wesson. You could be robbing, I'm more like Batman. Riding bars won't be behind the bars. I'm just trying to see success and drive these fancy cars. Cause my people used to starve, y'all treat it like an art. Just trying to just watch them take off, y'all nuts if you try to stop me. I'm a young king, don't forget that. Young niggas, they want me dead just cause my skin black. I don't really mess with the pigs, y'all keep y'all wrist back. Cause I don't wanna fear for my life when I hear that shit crack.
So do us everything, ain't they Fox for me? They can go Fox. Okay, cool, sure. Relax. Why are you shaking for it?
And I ain't really with the beef. I want to get you, don't keep that stick on me. And one day y'all have a son and tell him my story about what's in his blood that'll make his story.
Like that.
See, I like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, like when people do freestyle, they use them old beats too, man.
Like
I
that.
don't like the new beats, man. It's more, I don't know, it's different when you use an older beat, man.
Yeah.
It's different for some
Like
reason.
the subject, like the beat, it's nice.
Well, nice, appreciate that. You know, so I was singing just Style Salute, General Mills, Levi, you know what I mean, on that track. You can go check out Singing Just Styles, General Mills, Spotify, Apple Music, all that, you know what I mean? We got some songs, YouTube, you know, Singing Just Styles with the Z. Yeah, so represent, man, Black History Month. I just wanted to shout out all my Black history. Everybody that's not pure white, it's a piece of black. So, I mean, it's all Black history, everybody, you know, everywhere.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So we all Black history, so, you know what I mean, part of it. So just salute to you, salute to everybody, you know what I mean? Please support, you know what I mean? Make sure y'all check out the Old Niggas podcast always. Yeah.
What you got, Donnell, before we close up?
Hey man, shit. Good show today, fella. That's all I can say, man. Got a lot of stuff off, man. We covered a lot. And shit, we had good people calling in, you know, all over. That's another thing, you know.
South India?
Yeah, South India, man.
That shit made me feel good.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
Kelly B, I see she put up Who That.
Hey,
So,
Who That Nation?
Who That Nation.
All right.
From me, you know, I'm from Louisiana and I represent Who That Nation, so I would like to tell all 49ers fans, fuck y'all. All Chiefs fans, fuck y'all.
Oh,
Really, the whole Super Bowl,
fuck y'all.
I really don't care about it.
And that's
You know,
what I said.
that's
Hold
what
up,
the
hold
Who
up,
That
Ain't
hold
nobody
up.
from New York,
So-
it ain't Atlanta.
Whole time, like, mind you, I'm a
Miami.
Redskins fan, you know what I'm saying? But
Uh-huh.
I'm still going for the Niners. But the whole time with that Who That Nation, they can kiss my ass too.
Alright, man. So really, thanks everybody for listening to the show. Tomorrow is Super Bowl Sunday.
Sunday, y'all.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. Before we go,
Shout out Kobe one more time.
about to say Kobe Bryant. You know, we talked about it last week. Last night I tried to stay up and watch the whole game. I couldn't, but it was the thing for Kobe. Don't hear that much about the Super Bowl because he's overshadowing everything. It's Kobe's death of a legend. Just want to tell everybody, please take that Mamba mentality into your life. Kobe Bryant wasn't the most talented. He wasn't the most physically gifted.
He was almost.
No, his determination, his work
ethic
ethic made him that.
He made him
He was
This
actually,
is true. This is true.
he was born to be average, but his mind would not let him be.
Yeah.
So
This is true.
y'all take that Mamba mentality, that right there. You might be born to be average, but don't settle for it. Your mind will follow. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Everybody who tuned in, just to let y'all know, man, y'all call in and get some of that talking. You know, join the show. Go back, listen to yourself later on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Twitch, YouTube. Mostly, we're almost on about everything now, man. We started to do great shit. General Mills, they got a button over there you got to be pressing, man. And we out this motherfucking anything, fellas.
We out.
We out.